So what have you done, Morgan, like since it's gotten here?
My main concern right when we got it is we're gonna pull the engine.
I'm not a vlogger, dude. I'm not a camera guy. I'm a driver.
My name's James Holguin. I've been driving the Nissan for about 4 years.
I got f***ed over, dude. Gave this guy a shit ton of money and he spent it on like legal fees. Here it is, guys. Here's the truck, man.
So what have you done, Morgan, like since it's gotten here?
We really did demo work first, and it seems to be the common thing. The structure that was going across was like a super gnarly structure. It had a big kick in it, bent back, multiple, like a W, and then it had diagonals going down. It had like kind of a weird seat mount thing going on back here. And then it had a trans tunnel that was really big. It went up, it was made out of 1 inch and 3/4 inch, and it kind of went up and dropped down, and it was just taking up like a huge amount of space. You know, the first thing is just kind of getting rid of that stuff, and now we've just started to package the rear. So this is gonna have 2 Razor side-by-side seats in it, and we have that frame sitting over there. So I've kind of just, PRP let us use that stuff for mock-up for the rear, and then the front we're just gonna tie in the structure again and just trim all the fat off it. So the trans will come out, the engine will come out. We made sure that the engine comes out, because the whole time, I could tell the whole time that this truck has been going to different places, the engine never came out. So I think that engine got set in there when it got built, and everything got built around it, and it kind of just like, someone measured the width of the heads and went, okay, we'll just make these tubes as wide as that thing should come out. And in theory, it kind of does do that, but it needed a lot more. So that was like my main concern right when we got it, is we're gonna pull the engine. No matter what, we gotta figure out, is it going down there? Is it coming out here? Is it coming out there? Like, what's going on?
So now it's gonna come out
where it should.
Where it should,
that's
straight
the
out,
easiest way.
And then so this is removable right here. So
yeah, there'll be another, that's on tube connectors. This will be on tube connectors. The engine mounts will be on tube connectors. So essentially you start to pluck this thing, you pull that, you start to pluck this thing, and then you get it angled. You have to get, you know, probably at 45 degrees and pull it out like that.
Which is cool, you know, and then the trans, obviously we drop it down the bottom, but
that's standard.
Yeah.
And it's like the, you know, the way that this thing was, it was reconfigured once already, but I don't know if it was like to come out through the cab or what the idea was with it being removable, but this whole thing was removable. And if you're gonna do sheet metal in here, especially if it's gonna be welded, then there's no way to really have like a structure that's removable and then do sealed sheet metal. It doesn't, like that doesn't work unless you had just bolt-on panels everywhere.
Right.
There's a cowl that goes here for the windshield, and I have James's windshield over there. So what we'll do, and this is kind of like a lot of tube chassis trucks have, I'm not gonna make this whole thing removable, but all sheet metal right to the perimeters of this, and then this center section will have its own sheet metal, but it'll be removable. James wants to have a windshield that comes on and off, not with like glue, something that you could take off, like on, you know, if you knew you were going out and you didn't want it that weekend, you take it off. You take that off step 1, step 2, take that off, and then step 3, take all the connectors off, and then you plug that thing, and it comes out. In theory, you think that if you are gonna have to take the engine out, you either popped it, or you're going through a year or 2 and you're refreshing the thing. That was the first thing we did. And like now, we've just started to package in all of that, but it's just once, like the next time you guys come back, all that center section will be done. This will all be tied in, front seat mounts will be done, rear seat mounts will be tabbed. B-pillar tube for like the harnesses will probably not go on till last, just so we can function in here and get everything welded and done. And then we're just gonna move on to odds and ends. But like the cab right now is just floating. Like, see that?
Yeah.
That's just chilling. So, I mean, it's nice that it was built like that. So, you know, like when you feel everything's 360 welded. I'm gonna still do nice sheet metal on it, but we're gonna leave it and focus on it being raw or being unfinished. You know, something that's like a vintage aircraft retro looking thing.
Arshia said, well, that's actually the theme of the truck.
This is what?
Unfinished.
Got him! I think we need to just have this thing finish here and be done here and make it right for James. And I love James, and you know, I value him as a friend and just as a human being and a father. And it's like I've seen the struggles, and like even when it was at Eric's, like everywhere it was going, I was talking to him, and I wasn't in a position in my life where I was able to take it on as a project. Now that I'm on my own, it's something feasible and it's manageable, and you know, I'm right here next to Evan Weller, so he can handle all the plumbing, you know, do all the brakes, do all the cooling, you know, and then we can have it wired here too. It's at a place now where it can be turnkey, done, finished, and worked on consistently and efficiently.
You know, I know what I want this to be, and I know, like, with everybody who sacrificed so much to make this happen, you know, my family, you know, my wife, my friends, you know, my friends, everybody's helped out so much to get this thing to where this is now, and it, to the naked eye, you know, for somebody who may not know too much about this stuff, it may not look like much right now, but this thing's come a long way, man. It's come a long way, and our goal ideally is we're gonna be like checking in here often. The only thing I'm scared of is like when I'm finally able to drive. You know,
What are you scared of?
I'm not a cameraman,
Crying?
dude.
Just crying too hard? Just crying.
You know,
you will cry.
You know what?
I guarantee it.
You know what? I think that's the thing. Like, people don't realize, right? Like, how much goes into this shit. It's crazy. You know, and I think that's the thing. Like, it's a struggle, dude. And to build these damn things it's crazy. Right, Arshia?
Well, I think for you, I think it's like you've called me before and kind of sought counsel and what should I do, man? I'm fucking over this thing. I'm done, blah, blah. I just want to give it up. I just want to sell it. I've told you before that it's more than that to you because it's like, it's something you have to conquer. It's gone to this point now where everybody knows you have it. It's like a running joke.
Let's see the front of it.
I think it's more of just like it's something that you have to accomplish and everybody wants to see you accomplish it because you've started such a movement with Terra and just in off-road and people enjoying that life that, you know, it's like you need to be doing this with your own truck and, you know, have this thing done. You go see everybody else's trucks and you know, you talk about them and you see them and then there's always like a standing joke about your shit not being done, you know, or this thing that's taken years. And so I think it's like, it's bigger than that for you. It's, you know, it's a life accomplishment you need to handle, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I think selling it or giving up, like that's quitting. You know?
Yeah.
And if I feel like everything happens for a reason and I'm here for a reason and, you know, I feel that this is a manageable thing for me to do for you. So we have
I'm
all
excited, man.
We have all the resources to do it. Nelson, how do you feel seeing this thing for the first time?
I'm freaking pumped.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait till I get out there and get to ride in this thing and, like, yeah, film James drive this thing. Because honestly, I'm kind of scared for James. Because I honestly think James is going to go hardest in this thing.
When I've talked to Cameron about doing sheet metal, like the C-pillar isn't... I usually do like plating all through here and keep it extensive all the way up the tubes. I already started doing it like here with not plating that stuff, and I think that if we just kind of keep that method or stitch the plating on here and don't fully weld it, just so if the cab does have to
Come
get
off.
cut, we'll just cut it right there and, you know, start over.
Forward thinking.
Yeah.
Forward thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
2002 Nissan Frontier. Why did I build a Frontier when I could have built anything else in the world? I have no idea. I think since this build started 4 or 5 years ago. But as a whole, since I've driven this truck, dude, 10 years. But since it's gotten to this actual phase, which is about 5 years, so I'm not like hating too much on that. And like I said, I think Terra and having so many kids and working full time, being a teacher, and then, you know, doing everything else I do with my family and everything, like I'm happy, man. All good things come in time, and I know it will come. I am impatient, and I'm not a cameraman. I don't know how to film. If you guys can tell already.
I think you've got an idea though.
I have an
a little bit of an idea.
I have an eye for it, but yeah, no, for reals. I'm not that guy. I'm not a vlogger, dude. I'm not a camera guy. I'm not a fabricator. I'm a driver, dude. I drive. I like to drive, and I cannot wait to start driving again. That's what I want to do. All right.
So is there anything else that you want to go through with the truck, or?
I don't think so.
I just, you know, it's like, it's rough around the edges, and as far as like build quality goes, I'm not gonna sit here and criticize or be a dick about that. I just think that it's rough around the edges, but I don't think that it's at a point where this thing is not feasibly like able to turn around and be an awesome truck. So I believe in it, and I think, you know, we'll just set goals for next time you come. Make sure, you know, where the trans tunnel will be done, all the interior chassis structure will be done. Seat mounts, front and rear will be done in there.
So that's what we could expect to see when we come back.
For sure, yeah, and
Okay.
then more paneling. You know, then we start just working out the details, because kind of when you start looking at different things, it's like a domino effect where everything needs to be addressed to make it reliable
Yeah.
and functional and be able to work on it.
So we'll see you next time, Morgan.
We'll see you next time.
In 2 weeks.
We'll be seeing you. So every time you hit a jump, you knock the air out of yourself.
Well, no,
Straight up?
that jump, yeah, dude, it was, but I hit it like 5 times, dude, or more. I think that was the first trip I actually hung out with Blake, and him and his friends were playing like toilet paper soccer or something. Like they'd light.
What was he driving?
He was riding a dirt bike. He was like 14, dude,
Oh,
15.
yeah.
No
So
way.
he was still ripping a moto.
Yeah, so Blake and his homies would follow us around, and crazy glamorous kids would light things on fire and blow everything up.
Yeah. When you could get away with it too.
Not much has changed.
You wouldn't get old though.